We're going to talk about weekends and the vacations experience. We're going to use the simple present with irregular and irregular verbs. So we're going to talk about our weekends and the vacation experiences using the simple past yes/no questions and the regular and irregular verbs. Did you have a nice weekend? So I'd like you to know how was your weekend, if you enjoy it, and what activities did you do, and what things you like doing and don't like doing during the weekend. Let's see here some verbs that we're going to use and review the regular and irregular verbs. So you can use the list of these verbs, and I'd like you to put the present form of these verbs. For example, ate, you write in front of it the present form, the simple present. And I've checked it. That's good, that's okay. And the irregular too. Did any one of you go to a restaurant last weekend? Did you like it? Okay, so we're going to write about the restaurant experience from the last weekend. And I'd like you to practice some questions about your friend. What they did and what they didn't do. You also can practice asking if they like doing that or if they don't like doing that. So the structure that we're going to use will be using the past form of do to make questions in the past. Did you? Here you can put the activity, the verb, in the primitive form. Last weekend, did you play golf last weekend? So you use the verb in the present form because you're already using did. Did you go to a restaurant last weekend? If you give an affirmative answer, you say yes, I did. Or negative answer, no, I didn't. Short answers with WH questions. Did you go to a restaurant last weekend? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. We're going to read. I'd like you to open your books on page 97. And you're going to read this article, but I'd like you to focus only on the first and the last sentence of each person. You see the picture of the person? Take a rapid look on the first and the last sentence, because the main ideas in a writing passage usually comes on the first or the last part of a paragraph. So I'd like you to open your books and read this passage very rapid look, and I'd like you to answer me these 4 questions very quickly before reading everything. Who had a terrible weekend? From these 4 persons, tell me who had a terrible weekend. Who had enjoyed the weekend? And who learned a lot? And who had a busy weekend? Only reading the first and the last sentence in each paragraph. Okay, now that you have received your papers, I'd like you to fold into 3 parts like this. And in the first part, you're going to write Friday, okay? And put here 2 things you did on Friday night. Friday, one thing you did on Friday night and another thing you did. Anything. You can use the list of verbs to help you remember something. If it's not there, you can ask me. On Saturday, 2 things you did in the morning, 2 things you did in the afternoon, and 2 things you did at night. For Sunday, the same process. 2 things in the morning, 2 things you did in the afternoon, and 2 things you did at night. So we are going to write these things. Okay, great, good. All right, very interesting, very interesting. Okay, now we're going to see model to start writing about an experience, a restaurant review, to talk about an experience that you have had. Go to page 13 on the book 1. Okay, you are going to see here this restaurant review. Okay, read this. And you're going to follow this model. You're going to start the same process last Saturday or last Friday or last Sunday, the day you went to that restaurant. Are going to share with a peer with your Google Drive, only with the peer for a while to make the peer review. You also can use the form here for the writing, firstly, and after the peer review, we're going to create a unique document, put all your writings, and then we're going to make the reviews and all the necessary changes. But I'd like you to choose who had the best weekend, who had the best experience, who had the best restaurant experience. That will be interesting to discover. That's really interesting. And I think you can, we could take all your posts and put together and help people to get suggestions before they go into that restaurant. Remember to give 1 to 5 stars to the restaurant, to your experience in that restaurant. And if you return there, you can change, give 1 or take out 1 star. Thank you very much for this experience today.